In this video, we are going to concentrate on the elements of music and on the first element, melody. And we're going to have a very good look at your syllabus for IGC's eCambridge Music so that you understand what they can ask you. Now, this is the Cambridge syllabus, and we see the melody and rhythm. I'm not going to discuss rhythm in this video, but we're going to have a look at the major scale, minor scale, chromatic scale, whole tone scale, and pentatonic scale. Blue notes, melodic movement, ascending or descending, they love to ask that, and step by step or leap, and phrasing and call and response. The major scale. The major scale is a 7-note scale that consists of a series of whole steps and half steps. The half steps exist between 3rd and 4th and the 7th and 8th scale degrees. That's what we are doing in theory, and we know that we have 4 flats and 4 sharps and the C major scale that we have to know. Another name for the major scale is the diatonic scale. Diatonic because all the notes of the scale belongs to that scale. Now there I have C major, and all the notes are diatonic because they all belong to C major, and that's ascending. If I play it going down, it's descending. And of course it moves step by step. So for the major scales, you need to know G major, D major, A major, E major, and then F major, B flat, E flat, and A flat. The minor scale is a 7-note musical scale that features a minor third, also known as a flat third. Okay, and it also evokes the feeling of sadness or eeriness and suspense. Minor chords and minor key music uses notes from a minor scale. And that we also do when we do our scales, that C minor belongs to E flat. Okay, so it uses the same flats as E flat major, and I raise my 7th. So let me play you the minor scale. So if you're new to music and you don't understand major and minor scales, I have other videos that can explain that to you, and you will also find wonderful YouTube videos for that. Another important scale is the pentatonic scale, especially when I talk about world music, Africa, China, Arab. Okay, we have a lot of world music with a pentatonic scale. It's called the 5-tone scale. 5 different tones. Although you count more tones, just see that the C is there and the other C they count as 1. Okay. It's thought that the pentatonic scale represents an early stage of musical development because it is found in different forms in most of the world's music. We have. So that's the pentatonic, penta meaning 5. Now a chromatic scale, you can't say it's a chromatic major or a chromatic minor because I use all 12 tones in my octave I use. So I will have A sharp or B flat, C, B, C, C sharp or D flat, D, D sharp or E flat, E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, and A. So that's chromatic. That was ascending, and this is descending. Now the next scale is the whole tone scale. In music, a whole tone scale is a scale in which each note is separated from the neighbor by the interval of a whole tone. So in music, I get a whole tone from C to D. And now in that C to D, I have two halves, C to C sharp to D. So two half steps, semitones, two semitones will make you form that whole tone. So I find that a lot in 20th century music. C to D is a whole tone, D to E is a whole tone, E to F sharp is a whole tone, F sharp to G sharp is a whole tone, G sharp to A sharp is a whole tone, and then A sharp to C is a whole tone. That's the whole tone scale. Now the blues note, in jazz and blues, a blue note is a note that for expressive purposes is sung or played at a slightly different pitch from the standard. And jazz I find in my 20th century music. Now we always have a question on ascending, descending, step or leap. So let me explain that to you. Now this is an ascending melody. And that's step up and then a step down. And then you have a little bit of a leap and down. And now I have a leap up, ascending, ascending. Now a descending, leap down, and now the leap. Now the steps can be, or the leaps can be conjunct and disjunct. So conjunct is I will find easy to sing. Okay, and that goes up. Another one that goes down. And this disjunct is quite difficult to sing. Leap. And now the descending one. Phrasing in music works like when you talk or read. I've got all those commas and full stops and exclamation marks. So it shows a rest in the music. I'm in F major, so that is a final rest. So I can see that will be like a full stop. That is not part of my FAC chord, that's an E. So that's more like a comma in music. There I see my phrase mark. The second phrase starts on the tonic, and that is also like a comma because it's not part of my tonic chord. So phrases in music is where I have a natural rest in my music. Call and response I can find in orchestral music as well, but in singing, I find that a lot in world music, for instance, Africa, where I have a leader singing a phrase and then the group answering a different phrase in response. So the leader will sing it out and then all the other singers will join. So here I have a typical example of the leader singing a phrase. And then the group will answer. Okay, so the leader starts with a phrase and then the others follow. So make sure that you understand major, minor, chromatic, whole tone and pentatonic scales. Also go to other YouTube videos and go to and find examples so that you can listen to this. Blue notes, the melodic movement, phrasing and call and response. So next time we're going to look at the rhythm, tubular, triple and irregular meter, syncopation, swing and polyrhythm. So make sure that you understand all these melodic terms.